Okay, tama yan. Tama yan.
Hello, good afternoon everyone. Welcome to our Permanent Cooking Experience Center. So, sorry for the delay. Traffic and ulan pa kanina, so medyo na-late lang si speaker, special speaker. It's okay. So this is, would like to introduce to you, for some of you who do not know, Professor Lindsay is our special speaker for today. She will talk, she's a nutritionist and she has a lot of ano pa in her, memorize. So si Doctora will tell you more about herself. Thank you very much, Doctora.
Alright, so
Nakita ko na.
so 2 more years, I'm still finishing my doctorate in public health. Hopefully after 2 years, I will finish my
Doctora na.
doctoral public health. Alright, so good afternoon everyone, and I'm so happy to see you again. Alright, so anywhere I can put this. Is it okay? Here lang. Alright, so I'm happy to be back. I was here a few weeks ago, I'm not mistaken. And same faces? Again, sorry. Alright, so let me begin my Okay. Sige, I'll do some introduction about... Sorry for the delay because I usually come from Pasig during Saturday, but today it was a different situation. Anyway. Alright. Alright, so I'm a registered nutritionist dietitian and I'm also a physiotherapist. And I finished my master's, one in education and one in nutrition and dietetics. And right now, as I've said, I'm finishing another degree. I think it will a never-ending journey. You know, lifelong learning is very important. So, di ba, as we grow older, the more knowledge that we should have. Okay, my presentation today is entitled Role of Nutrition in Immune Function. I know many of you are very much interested with this, especially that rainy days are coming, then a lot of, infections, viruses are around the corner. Okay. Now, this is the outline of my presentation. So, I'll be discussing first the overview of the immune system, foundation of immune system, okay? And then we have the disorders and diseases that can affect our immune system. Now, there are also discussions on the symptoms of low immune system. What are those signs that we should look at? And then the possible causes of low immune system. So basically, I'm happy to share with you my knowledge about, of course, the right foods to eat in order to have a strong immune system. And then we will be tackling also the different nutrients for you to take in. And then the role of lifestyle, because as a physiotherapist, I also push the physical activity, the proper sleep, and other things or other parts of lifestyle. And I will also share with you a simple meal plan for a strong immune system. So aside from, after my talk, they will be preparing some meals that would boost your immune system. So this is an additional. Okay, so for an overview of our immune system, in our body, there are a lot of spots that are the one that has something to do with our immune system. So number one is our tonsils. I know some of you have experienced this, that, diba, especially the kids, diba, they complain about their tonsillitis. No? It's actually a part of our body that signals, that controls those foreign bacteria that will attack our body. We have the lymph nodes, we have the thymus, we have the spleen, the Peyer's patches, our lymph vessels, and our bone marrow. So they play a specific role in order to strengthen our immunity. That's why some of us feels like there is inflamed that is going on in my body. And sometimes you go to the doctor and have your blood checked, diba? So sometimes one indicator is that there is an increase in WBC. So when I look at, as a nutritionist, when I look at the lab results and I see there is an increase in WBC, I know there's something wrong with the patient. There's an inflammation going on, or the body is fighting a particular infection already. Okay? And for the white blood cells, the WBC, so it is usually manufactured in our bone marrow. So that bone marrow is very important. Okay? So we have here the different types of WBC. I won't be talking about it kasi baka medyo masyado na itong malalim. I'll just do it lang very light. Alright. Now, what parts of our body that make up the immune system? Of course, our white blood cells. So what happens is that the immune system cells attack and eliminate those harmful germs to keep our body healthy. And I have shown you the different white blood cells, and they have their different mission in order to defend our body to those infections. Another is the antibodies. So in our body, we have our natural antibodies. And those are basically made of proteins. That's why protein is very much important in our diet. Those kids who are in the community, so whenever they have low protein intake, they have protein energy malnutrition, it goes hand in hand na talagang their immune system is very low. Okay? And another one is the cytokines. Those are protein. They're protein pa rin yung pinanggalingan nila. And they serve as the chemical messengers that will tell our immune cells to, hey, you have to be released and do something about it. Okay? So that's why sometimes we can feel those inflammation all over our body. Okay? And then we have our lymph nodes. So lymph nodes are small bean-shaped organs. So it serves like a colander. So it filters. All right? And they filter the waste product from the fluid that drains from the tissues and cells while keeping the good components like our nutrients. That's why the nutrients that we are taking in coming from food are the one that strengthens our body. Okay, we have the spleen, we have the tonsils and adenoids. Now, there are some people who undergone tonsillectomy because, they need to have it removed because of some problems like they have difficulty in breathing. Sometimes the health could be compromised because it is the one that filters the impurities that goes in our body. Okay, and then of course the thymus. So this helps the T cells. So T cells is a specific white blood cells, and this actually travels elsewhere in our body to protect us from infections. Okay, and then as I've said, the bone marrow. Okay, that is where our the WBC is being our blood cells. Okay, and then the skin. This serves as our protective barriers to help stop germs from entering our body. That's why, this is the first line of our defense, our skin. And, in order to help our skin to keep its vitality, we need to eat those foods that are vital for our skin. And then our mucosa, so all over our body, the cavities, our organs, it has mucosa there. So it is the one that secretes the mucus, and this captures invaders like the germs, and it actually then clears out. Okay? So this is where the location of the different parts that I have mentioned. So the thymus, the spleen, all right, the lymph nodes. Okay? Now, for the first line of defense, it is the physical and the chemical barrier. So as I've said, we have the three lines of defense in our body. The first one is the skin and the mucous membrane. So they are the one that blocks the pathogen entry. That's why have you heard of the news about those who have suffered from leptospirosis? Okay, so it started from the skin, and if it is open, the virus starts to enter, and that attacks the kidneys. Okay. Now, what are the essential nutrients that are very helpful for our skin? It's vitamin A and vitamin C. Now, we can get those vitamins from the different foods that we eat. The second line of defense is what we call the innate immune response. So when we were born, all right, so we have our immunity that protects us from invaders. All right, so these are usually the one that reduces those oxidative stress. And we can get it from food that we eat. So one good example is the omega-3 fatty acids or the omega-3. This is anti-inflammatory. So we can get it from the fish oils. Yeah. Okay. And the third line of defense is what you call the adaptive immune system. So this actually explains that why do people, for example, they don't, they had a, what you call this, chicken pox when they were young. The chances are that having that second, it's no longer the chicken pox, no? It might be another one. So the body was able to create that kind of immunity. Now, aside from that is the vaccines that we get. So it protects us from any viruses or any other diseases like hepatitis. So once we are vaccinated, so we adapt those. For example, we are exposed to that kind of virus. Our body can actually fight that because of that vaccination. So that's another example of the adaptive immune response. However, actually, these are being strengthened by the foods that we eat. So in those foods, especially those that are rich in iron and selenium, so this enhances the adaptive response. Okay. Now, what are the disorders and diseases that affects the immune system? Now, number one here is allergy. So whenever we encounter food that causes us to have this hypersensitivity, that allergy is our body's reaction. That is, sometimes it could lead to something else. No? Okay, so if you know that you are allergic to a particular food or something, the best thing that you can do is to eliminate that particular food in your diet. All right. Now we have also some ways on how we could help our patient to lessen the effect of that allergy. So we give it a little by little. So it depends. Yeah, some people can outgrow that kind of allergy. Okay. Then next is the autoimmune disease. So what happens when a person has this kind of autoimmune disease, like what Chris Aquino has? No? So the own healthy cells attack its own. So they cannot recognize anymore which one is their enemy and which is not. All right. So one good example of this is the lupus and other types of arthritis. So when we talk about arthritis, there are a lot of family that belongs to that. So they are the autoimmune disease. Now another disorder that is related to immune system is the primary immunodeficiency disease, which are usually genetic in origin. No? So there are people who are born with that. So meaning to say, one component of the immune system is not present. So sad to say that there are some people who are like that. Okay. Another one is if they have these infectious diseases. So of course, we expect that those HIV patients, they have this difficulty in coping up or protecting themselves from infection because of their condition. Okay? And another one is certain types of cancer like leukemia and lymphoma. We can expect that their immune system is very weak. Okay? And what else? Now, sepsis, this is an extreme immune response to infection. So, the immune system starts damaging healthy tissues and organ. And this is usually life-threatening. All right. Now, what are the symptoms of having low immune system? So first, we can observe that you have this hypersensitivity. You used to eat this kind of food, but now you can observe that how come I have allergies na, diba? You don't have like that before, no? And another is feeling tired all the time. So this actually tells you, that your immune system is getting weak. For example, of course, later I'll be discussing the effect of aging because it's normal that we feel tired when we age. But when you have low immune system, that's a different thing. Okay. Now, frequent colds and flus. So sorry for the typo. No. So if you are a person who gets cold most of the time, and another sign is mouth sores. Those who have mouth sores or singaw, that's actually one sign that your immune system is not that strong. All right. So I've encountered several people who are complaining about that. Okay, so that's one sign. Sore throat is another one. No, now sore throat, it has to be addressed properly, especially for the kids. Lalo na if it is a recurrent tonsillitis or something. So the bacteria that is produced in the throat can lead to something else when they get older. So that's where the rheumatic, heart disease started, no? So if it is frequent, okay? Then is the swollen gland. So sometimes we feel our lymph nodes are, inflamed. That's why the doctors, when you go to the doctors and have your checkup, especially the kids, what they do, they palpate, no? Tinitingnan nila, okay? Sometimes adults complain about the swollen nodes in the groin area, something like that. Headache is another sign. If you keep on experiencing headache that you don't usually feel it, but now, so that might be a sign of low immune system and aching muscles. All right, so that could be signs. Now, what are the possible causes of low immune system? So one thing that is diet related is when you are eating saturated or the hydrogenated fat or the trans fat. All right? So, partially hydrogenated fat is actually a trans fat. So, when you read the label and it says there, partially hydrogenated, it's a trans fat. They just hide it with that name. Okay? Now, saturated fats are usually fats coming from animal source, and these are the kinds of fat that we are trying to get rid of because they are the one that clogs our artery, all right? And the patient might be prone to have atherosclerosis, cholesterolemia, that is the one that is the culprit for the cardiovascular disease. Another possible reason why people develop low immune system is when they eat high sugary foods, especially the simple sugar. The cakes, anything that is sweet when you put in the mouth, those are simple sugar. No? You have to avoid those foods. Why? Because those are pro-inflammatory. So when we keep on eating those food, it induces inflammation in our body. And aside from that, that actually links to the condition that what we call the diabetes. No? So there is the spike of the blood sugar. And of course, if it is not controlled, it could lead to other complications that we don't want to happen. Okay? Now, another is the nutrient deficiencies. So, if a person is experiencing continuous stress, okay, how come our there is nutrition deficiency? If our diet is not sufficient, especially if we are just eating the same kind of food all over again, how can we? Don't you know that our body needs how many nutrients? It needs 40 nutrients a day. And we can only have that if we eat different kinds of food every day. Do you understand? So 40 nutrients a day, we have to supply that. Now anyway, when you eat something like, for example, chop suey, there's already like 10. We're going to count how many vegetables is there in the chop suey. There's a mushroom, additional protein, something. It is nearly that one. That's one meal only. But we still have the breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's why you have to eat variety of foods every day. Different breakfast, different lunch, dinner. Should be a variety. Okay, this is what my students I reminding them about. If you eat this one in the morning, try to eat another kind of food. All right. So kasi sila sometimes because of lack of time, so that's their excuse. Another one is poor gut flora. So this actually explains the importance of the gut microbiota. Our gut, all right? So 70% of the immunity comes from that one. That's why we are pushing people to consume those that has probiotics, like the fermented, because it has a protective properties in our gut that could actually help us to develop or to increase our immune system. Another reason why there is low immune system, the lack of fruit and vegetable consumption, lack of essential fats. Now actually, fat is not bad at all. What is the issue here is that where does that fat came from? The source. That's the issue here. Fat you have to always remember that it should be coming from the monounsaturated and polyunsaturated, not the saturated one. Now, usually, what kind of, how can we say that that fat is good? So, one good source of the monounsaturated is like olive oil. So, we have other healthy oils, all right? So, one common is the olive oil, okay? And then a lot of. And then another reason why people has this low immune system, it's because of the excessive alcohol intake, the drug and smoking. So those are substance abuse because some of them, okay, constrict our blood vessels. So they release some chemicals that when it's inside our body, it releases some kind of pro-inflammatory as well. Okay, the chemical pollutants. So those who are working in those that are exposed in chemicals, their immune system are also low because those chemicals can actually interact with our natural flora in our body. It attacks it. Okay? What else? The stress. we are not, I know stress is one of our problems, but we can say that stress is sometimes good, but if it is a chronic stress, then that becomes so bad. All right? Lack of sleep. How many hours are we supposed to sleep? Okay, at our age, the normal recommendation for adult is like 7 to 9 hours a day. At least 9 hours. 7 to at least 7 to 9 hours a day. All right, some have like 4. Try to improve your lifestyle. All right, so let's talk about the significance of nutrition. So as we all know, nutrition, it has something to do with the food, the science of food, and how it is being used up by our body, how it is being digested and absorbed. Okay, so immune function, okay, is highly dependent on the nutritional status of an individual. So as we all know, if a person is deprived of the food, of course, where do we get those nutrients? Of course, from the food. That's why the nutritional status is dependent on the intake. Okay, and it goes with it functions. It does a lot of things in our body. Now, appropriate nutrition is required. So as we all know, cells to function optimally, this includes the cells to the immune system. This has to meet the demands of the immune system for, number one, for energy. Where do we get our energy? Of course, from the carbohydrates, protein, and fats that we eat. And we have the help of our micronutrients. We have the vitamins and the minerals. Later, I will be discussing with you what are the different nutrients that our body needs in order to develop those good immune system. Okay? So, to perform roles in the development and maintenance of an effective immune system throughout the life course. So, amino acids. So, one of the major nutrient for the immune system is the protein because the one that fights infection in our body is the immunoglobulin, and that is coming from the protein. So, of course, in order for us to achieve those 40 nutrients a day that is required, okay, so we have to include these steps in order to support our immune system. So, first, we need to evaluate our own dietary intake. So, we can have journal. Try to review what you are eating. And then, of course, thank you for attending this kind of activity. Thank you so much, Thermomix, because you're not just promoting good recipes, but you're also letting them know about good foods, the nutrition. Okay. Then plan. So create a weekly meal plan, incorporating the best foods. Now in Thermomix, it's very helpful for us because it gives us a lot of choices. Okay, and not just choices, but it actually helps us to promote to cook our own food because those foods that are bought outside, as we all know, they are tainted. They are already with chemicals and other, that could destroy our immune system. All right. So the one recommendation that I could give, cook your own food. That's what I do personally for my family as well. Yes, I have also my Thermomix. All right. Okay, what else? So shop, of course, purchase the fresh foods, the whole foods. Now, when I say whole foods, I'm talking about the one that is not processed. All right. So we are avoiding what you call the ultra processed food. These are the instant that we buy. All right. So go back to basic. Okay. I don't know if you know the song Bahay Kubo. there are the vegetables being mentioned there. Try to go back to that. No? Go back to the basic. Then prepare. You have to cook meals using the methods that preserve the nutrients. So later, chef will be teaching us recipes that could actually help us. Okay, monitor. You have to track your health changes in your immune system. So after you have, practice those cooking techniques, no, you will notice that there is a change in yourself. Okay, and then of course you have to adjust, no. So just keep on learning so much about nutrition. Okay. So these are the key nutrients. I know you are waiting for this one. So what are the key nutrients for the immune health? So number one here is vitamin C. Okay, so you can get it from citrus fruits that we know, but take note, the richest source of vitamin C is where? It's in the bell pepper. Bell pepper, yeah. So among the food items that has the highest vitamin C content. All right, so that's why you have to incorporate. I'm telling my kids, don't remove the bell pepper. Don't you know that it's very rich in vitamin C? Don't overcook it. It's there. That's the highest source. Another one is zinc. All right. So where can we find this zinc? Okay. So this includes in the nuts and seeds. No? So sometimes we put chia seeds on it. We use pumpkin seed. Those are rich in zinc. Okay. What else? So vitamin D. This is the usual vitamins that we are neglecting. Every morning my routine is I go out in the lanai. I expose myself in the sun, but I make it this point it's like 7 o'clock, but 9 o'clock beyond it's no longer good because of the UV exposure. But if it is a morning sun, that's the best one. All right, so you do your stretch, do your inhale, exhale, okay, do your meditation. All right, and then what else? The probiotics. All right, the probiotics, these are present in your yogurt and fermented foods. All right, in fermented foods such as you have your sauerkraut. Are you familiar with kimchi? That's why Chinese, when I went to China, every time we eat breakfast, there's a lot of the vegetable that are fermented. Okay, they have a lot, no? Okay, in Thermomix, we have in the recipe, right? We have those fermented foods. And we have omega-3, so we can get it from the fatty fish. All right, salmon, mackerel, sardines. All right, it's very good. Now here, what are the rules? So vitamin A, this enhances the immune system. So the kids just know it's good for the eyesight, but they don't know that it's for immune system as well. All right. What else? The vitamin C, as I have mentioned, vitamin D. And vitamin E acts as an antioxidant, and this protects our immune cells. Okay, the vitamin E. All right, so this one, the iron, I have mentioned already the zinc. Iron, so this is essential for the oxygen transport and immune response. So those people who are low in iron, we have what you call, here in the Philippines, one that is most prevalent deficiency is iron deficiency anemia, or the IDA. Our government is addressing that through supplementation. So in the health center, when you go there, they provide the iron supplementation, especially for pregnant women, okay, and the children. Okay, we also have selenium. All right, so this is an antioxidant and other nutrients. All right, so these are the protein. Take note, it's very important. It's not only for bodybuilding and body repairing, but it is responsible or also for our immune cells. Okay, so these are the role of omega-3 fatty acid. I'll try to okay. So what else? I have already mentioned to you the gut microbiome and immunity. So we need to feed the good bacteria. You know the problem with those who are taking antibiotics, even the good bacteria are being killed. So that's the sad thing about it. That's why it has to be regulated. It has to be with prescription, because some people resort to that. They go to, they medicate. I don't know how they be able to get those antibiotics. Antibiotics is not good. As much as possible, the doctors prescribe the one that has low dose. Kasi pagka mataas yung cover ng bacteria, the next time you get that same sickness, that same medicine won't work anymore. You will be needing a higher strain, and that's difficult. All right. So gut microbiome. So take note, 70% of our immune system exists in our guts. That's why we need to take care of our gut, make sure that it's clean regularly. We don't suffer from any constipation. We have good digestive system. All right. What else? So these are the sources of immune boosting nutrients. So we have the vitamin C. I have mentioned here the bell pepper, zinc. So you can get it from the whole grains. Okay. And one good source of zinc is oyster. Oyster, yes. It's high in zinc also. All right. Vitamin D, you can get it from egg yolks, from fortified foods. Now, fortified foods, you have to read the label. If it says there fortified with vitamin D, you read it, no? So make sure that it is, the one that you're getting is the one that is fortified. And then we have the probiotics. This is for the gut health. So we have the sauerkraut, the kefir, kimchi, okay, the tempeh. Now, these are the nutrients that positively impact our immune system. So these are some of the sources. So if you want to know more about this kind of nutrients, these are the sources. All right? Okay. And then this one. So vitamin E rich foods. Okay, the sunflower seeds, peanuts, almonds. No, it's high in vitamin E. What else? The one that we use for cooking, we have those herbs and spices. The herbs, oregano, basil, yan. Moringa leaves. Are you familiar with moringa leaves? These are malunggay. All right. It also has vitamin E. Now, for vitamin D, though the main source, the cheapest source is sunlight. You can also get it from food, but I rather, put together with those food, you expose yourself in the sun. Okay, make sure no sunblock, no sunscreen. All right. Okay, so these are the nutrients. So just for you to have a big picture of that. Okay, so these are the plant-based. Okay, so those of you who wanted to shift their diet into plant-based, because are you familiar with the 100 years? I suggest you watch the 100, it's in Netflix, the documentary. Yeah, the one from Okinawa. Yeah, that's very good, documentary. I really love that. So I asked my patient to watch that also. All right? So these are plant-based foods, high in immune boosting. So we have the tofu, the hemp seed, lentils, all right, the pumpkin seeds. Some of our recipes are with these ingredients. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. All right, so dietary pattern that supports immunity. So we have to consume whole foods, as I've said. Avoid ultra-processed foods, the one that has been, undergone a lot of processes. Hydration is also important. So make sure that you are properly hydrated. The recommended amount is at least 2 glasses per meal. So all in all, you have to consume, like, it depends, there is a computation for that. But basically, at least you have to consume 8 glasses, at least 8 glasses a day. All right? And of course, balanced diet. Okay, lifestyle factors such as the sleep, it's very important. I have mentioned that because during sleep, our body recuperates. All right, it's very important. Make sure at exactly like 11 o'clock, you have to be in bed. Because our body is healing. Yes, let our body heal.
Is it, I read you have to go into deep sleep.
Yes, the rapid eye movement. Yeah, you have to reach that one. Kasi if you have disturbed sleep, you're parang very it's not, your body are not resting that well. Because take note, our organs are also, recuperating for the everyday, activity. Kailangan to Alright, our body is like a machine. It needs some rest also. Alright, what else? Stress management. How do you manage your stress? Alright, so time management. Alright, I know some of you are, don't have time to, they don't handle their stress well. So what I can recommend is for you to just pause for a while. This is where self-care comes in. Alright, some meditation, you do some yoga if you can. Tai Chi is also good. That's actually ways on how we could manage our stress. My students are asking me, Ma'am, what do you do? I know you're working so hard and you're handling a very stressful. I'm doing research. I'm doing a lot of things, but I'm able to handle it. Why? Because I manage my time. I give time for rest. Talagang, I make it a point to plan. Alright? So if you're overwhelmed, just keep quiet. Just do inhale, exhale. So we have the vagus nerve stimulation. So what do we do? And sometimes massage my ears, the outside part. Then I close my eyes. The slow breathing, diba? Okay, it helps. Alright? And sometimes you can do some facial massage when you wake up in the morning. Drink water when you get up in the morning. 2 glasses at least. Then you pray. Praying and then listen to a relaxing music before you start your day. And then you eat healthy food. Exercise, don't forget. Okay? So we have the 3 pillars of good, healthy lifestyle. Good diet, sleep, and exercise. Don't forget those 3, at least those 3. Make sure that you are getting all of this if you want to live a healthy life. Alright, long life. Alright? Okay, what else? The impact of nutrition. And as I've said, holistic approach. We're not just focusing on the nutrition, the food, but also proper lifestyle, avoidance of, smoking, drinking, have a good sleep, and exercise. Don't forget the exercise. It's also important. Okay? So there was this study about the immune fitness which evolves over time. As we all know, the age, as we age, our immune system goes down, right? So this stems the term immunosenescence. But age is not an excuse. You can still maintain your immunity strong. By what? By doing those good lifestyle, all right? Proper rest, exercise again, diet, and of course, you have to go, what? For checkup also. Vaccination also helps, di ba? What you call this? For the, immunococcal, what you call this? Aside from the flu vaccine, pneumonia. Yeah, especially if you're in 50s already, yes. Those vaccines also help because that helps us do the adaptive immune system. Yes, okay. From shingles also, there are a lot of recommended vaccinations. You have to get that also. Yes, okay. So what else? So what is immunosenescence? So this is the decline in immune system, but we can do something about it. Look at the video that I was telling about, the 100 years. They have those, one notable thing about it is that they're also happy. They form a group, diba? That's also a big help. That's why sabi nila the therapy, the laughter therapy, diba? So it helps. Yes. Yeah. In Singapore, there is this initiative that those who have parents who are old, when they buy house, they offer a lower cost as long as it is near their, Yes, that's their program. And good thing about Singapore, when we compare here in the Philippines, kasi the Philippines is big, Singapore, they can control. The government there can control the people kasi it's a small land, no? Alright, so again, the hydration is very important. Why? So the electrolyte balance is very important. As we age, some people don't drink anymore. The problem with our young ones, they don't drink water anymore. They want milk tea. They want, something that is sweet. A lot of people are complaining about how come I already have diabetes. Because of what? Because of their lifestyle. This is what they eat. They drink. They don't drink water anymore. That's, based on studies, younger generations na started to have kidney problems. That's why our government provided, they increased already the assistance for the dialysis. But, I don't want people to go to that level anymore. As long we can prevent it, that's the better. Diba? Alright. So, these are the role of proper hydration, our electrolyte. Some people suffer from dehydration, our old people. How can you say that the person has lacks water? It's in the skin. If you see that the skin is dry, that's a sign. The skin turgor, yes, it needs to hydrate. And then make sure it's water. All right, not anything else that has sweetened something. All right. Okay, so these are 10 immune boosting drinks at home that you can do using the Thermomix also. So we have the ginger tea, lemon tea. I don't know how you can do it. I think it has been given before. Okay, we have, different combination. It's very good. All right. Okay, those are mostly anti-inflammatory. Okay, the next, so these are the summary of what I have discussed actually. Alright, so this one has been mentioned. These are the 8 powerful anti-inflammatory foods. Turmeric is very good. So, one time I attended the cooking demo. They have the turmeric drink and it's very good. Turmeric is wow. Okay, so we have ginger also, blueberries, the use of olive oil when we do salads. Okay, we have the leafy greens, green tea. Okay, so it has polyphenols. Okay, walnut is good, and of course, garlic. But you don't, of course, in a limited amount only. But you know, some people kasi tend to overdo it. That's why there's an adverse effect. I know some of you might be asking, oh, is it okay to chew a garlic every day? But I don't really recommend that much. Kasi some people, medyo matigas ang ulo, di ba? Sometimes, oh, this is good. But they overdo it naman. No? So, as I've said, 40 nutrients, yeah, a day. Dapat different foods. Alright? If you just eat one, feel full already, how can the other nutrients come in? Okay? Alright, so these are the 3, these are suggested meal plan. No? So for your, now it depends on the person. You can add more variety, but these are the basic one. Alright? So if you want to have more like individualized, so you need to have a consultation to a professional. No? So breakfast, of course, oatmeal. Oatmeal is rich in fiber. It has beta-glucan, which has the property to lower the cholesterol in the blood. All right. The strawberries are very good. The kiwi, okay. Orange and flower seeds are rich in vitamin E as well. Okay. Some of our recipes, okay, are made of these ingredients. Okay. So for day 2, you can have scrambled eggs. All right. Okay, the pumpkin seed is still here. The lentil soup, I have mentioned this a while ago. Okay, we have mackerel, we have sweet potato. So just to share with you, my breakfast most of the time are fruit plums. For my breakfast, I usually eat boiled kamote. Or, basta I have it, variety. So sometimes it's boiled saba, corn. So that's it. I go back to basic. I don't eat much, you know, the instant noodles. I don't eat that one much, okay? So what else? Tocino longganisa, no. Those have a lot of preservatives, okay? So these are for day 3. Alright, so salads, it's a good alternative. You can have cucumber. What else? Boiled egg is good also. Okay. Ayan. Okay. Now, I think this is my last slide. Supplements. I know some of you have this question in mind, no? Are supplements good, no? So we have to consider these things. Number 1 is you have to evaluate if it is truly necessary. If a normal person is taking in the normal food, the diet is good, there's no need. If you're able to get the 40 nutrients a day, it's no use anymore. Alright? So it's good for you to take it from a natural source. Another one is consider the dosage. Now, in supplements, that is where toxicity happens. And some doctors, are also avoiding that. That's why when you go to the doctor for a checkup, they sometimes ask you, stop taking this vitamin supplements anymore. Because, it could be toxin to our body. Yes, especially if it is in supplement form. A good thing about natural source, there's no toxicity. So to be safe, you'd rather get it from a natural source. Alright? Monitor interaction. There are some supplements that could interact with those people who are taking beta blockers, blood thinners. No, there are some nutrients that are against that one. So you need to consult the professionals on that. Alright? So, as I've said, natural source is better. So in conclusion, the sophisticated interplay between nutrition and immunity dictates the body's capacity to defend against disease. A proactive, no? So you have to do something about it, no? Before it's too late. Holistic dietary approach coupled with healthy lifestyle choices, okay, is the most powerful strategy for building and maintaining a resilient immune system, capable of responding effectively to the myriads of challenges it faces throughout life. Okay, so these are the references that I use responding effectively, all right, to the myriads of challenges. Thank you for your kind attention. It faces. Alright, thank you so much. Okay, so these are the references that I use funding effectively. Alright, periods of challenges. Thank you for your kind attention. It faces. Alright, thank you so much. And ask questions if you want. So these are the references that I use funding effectively. Alright, periods of challenges. Thank you for your time. Alright, based on research, I think it's so much. And ask questions to have you. These are the references that I use funding. Alright, I don't recommend. Because you know, it has to. Alright, based on research, so that's why so much. And ask questions to have you. Those who are dying with hypertension, I don't recommend. Because you know, it has to. Alright, based on research, so that's why so much. And ask it's good that you have more than two. Those who are dying with hypertension, everything. We have what we call alright, based on research, so that's why so much. And it's good that you have more than two. The most dying with hypertension, but half everything. We have what we call alright, based on research, so that's why so much. And it's good that you have more than two. The most dying with hypertension, but half everything. We have what we call alright, based on research, so that's why so much. And it's good that you have more than two. The most dying with hypertension, but half everything. We have what we call alright, based on research, so that's why so much. But it's good that you have more than two. The most dying with hypertension, but half everything. We have what we call alright, based on research, so that's why so much. But it's good that you have more than two. The most dying with hypertension, but half everything. We have what we call alright, based on research, so that's why so much. But it's good that you have more than two. The most dying with hypertension, but half everything. We have what we call alright, based on research, so that's why so much. But it's good that you have more than two. The most dying with hypertension, but half everything. We have what we call alright, based on research, so that's why so much. But it's good that you have more than two. The most dying with hypertension, but half everything. We have what we call alright, based on research, so that's why so much. But it's good that you have more than two. The most dying with hypertension, but half everything. We have what we call alright, based on research, so that's why so much. But it's good that you have more than two. The most dying with hypertension, but half everything. We have what we call alright, based on research, so that's why so much. But it's good that you have more than two. The most dying with hypertension, but half everything. We have what we call alright, based on research, so that's why so much. But it's good that you have more than two. The most dying with hypertension, but half everything. We have what we call alright, based on research, so that's why so much. But it's good that you have more than two. The most dying with hypertension, but half everything. We have what we call alright, based on research, so that's why so much. But it's good that you have more than two. The most dying with hypertension, but half everything. We have what we call alright, based on research, so that's why so much. But it's good that you have more than two. The most dying with hypertension, but half everything. We have what we call alright, based on research, so that's why so much. But it's good that you have more than two. The most dying with hypertension, but half everything. We have what we call alright, based on research, so that's why so much. But it's good that you have more than two. The most dying with hypertension, but half everything. We have what we call alright, based on research, so that's why so much. But it's good that you have more than two. The most dying with hypertension, but half everything. We have what we call alright, based on research, so that's why so much. But it's good that you have more than two. The most dying with hypertension, but half everything. We have what we call alright, based on research, so that's why so much. But it's good that you have more than two. The most dying with hypertension, but half everything. We have what we call alright, based on research, so that's why so much. But it's good that you have more than two. The most dying with hypertension, but half everything. We have what we call alright, based on research, so that's why so much. But it's good that you have more than two. The most dying with hypertension, but half everything. We have what we call alright, based on research, so that's why so much. But it's good that you have more than two. The most dying with hypertension, but half everything. We have what we call alright, based on research, so that's why so much. But it's good that you have more than two. The most dying with hypertension, thank you for thank you for flour, the garlic, rosemary, salt and pepper. Now we're ready to add our, so just a recap, so far we added the oil, okay, so this is the flour, the garlic, rosemary, salt and pepper. Now we're ready to add the aromatic, so just a recap, so we added the oil, okay, so this is the flour, the garlic, rosemary, salt and pepper. Now we're ready to add the aromatic, so just a recap, so we added the oil, okay, so this is the flour, the garlic, rosemary, salt and pepper. Now we're ready to add the aromatic, so just a recap, so we added the oil, okay, so this is the flour, the garlic, rosemary, salt and pepper. Now we're ready to add the aromatic, so just a recap, so we added the oil, okay, so this is the flour, the garlic, rosemary, salt and pepper. Now we're ready to add the aromatic, so just a recap, so we added the oil, okay, so this is the flour, the garlic, rosemary, salt and pepper. Now we're ready to add the aromatic, so just a recap, so we added the oil, okay, so this is the flour, the garlic, rosemary, salt and pepper. Now we're ready to add the aromatic, so just a recap, so we added the oil, okay, so this is the flour, the garlic, rosemary, This is the
Mahal yan.
And then, are you familiar with
Yeah, that's
cacao
good.
nibs?
That's good also, cacao nibs.
Cacao
is good.
nibs? Okay. So, yes. It's very high in antioxidant. Yes.
Ayan, all the terms from Professor.
Yeah, it originated from the chocolate, you know. Yeah. It has rich in fiber as well.
That's why dark chocolate is better, di ba?
Yes.
Yeah.
Lower sugar content.
Now, flaxseed.
Cocoa powder.
Cocoa powder. Okay. So our cocoa powder is from Sonly, I think.
Yes. So we'll add 6 tablespoons.
Unsweetened cocoa powder.
Madami po?
Ang dami nga ako. Ang dami.
The better, mas marami, mas mahal yan. At least in one eating, you can eat a lot, variety already.
How many of you buy granola outside?
Mahal-mahal.
Yeah, you can make your own.
Yeah.
I always make.
And just to add, the problem with the commercial granola is full of sugar. Unlike when you make your own, especially if you have diabetes, it's better
Yeah.
to make your own. Yeah.
You think you are eating healthy when you buy outside?
Unsweetened
Actually,
coconut flakes.
Which is better, coconut or olive oil?
They have different properties,
Yeah.
but coconut oil is under the medium chain triglycerides. It means when it goes in our body, it has a different property that it can be absorbed by our body compared with other oils. But olive oil is superior.
Olive oil or virgin?
The problem with the
Vanilla
virgin
extract.
olive oil is that it has a high smoke point. So what happens is that if it has a high smoke point,
It's
it
good.
burns easily. And the more it burns, it reduces the acrylate, and that is the carcinogen. No substance. Yeah, if you keep on doing the practice, it is a carcinogen.
The same thing with virgin coconut oil.
Yeah, when you use what you call it, the olive oil, it's better to put it in a salad. Rather than
extra virgin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the.
You don't need to cook with extra virgin.
Yeah, it should be in salad.
Yes.
And vinaigrette, it's better. Yes.
How about the coconut like meat, tinola, bagu?
Yeah, it's better also compared with other oils in the market. Yeah, personally, I use that brand.
Generally, is because all the oil have the smoke point, right?
Yeah.
So if you cook in the traditional way, either you are very conscious of how the temperature of your cooking is done. Otherwise, with Thermomix is the best, right? If you set it to 120, it stays at 120. It doesn't go beyond the smoke point of the oil. So it's very safe.
The temperature is controlled. That's the
Yeah.
good thing about Thermomix.
That's why we tell people that sometimes they will say, oh, I don't need this because I have helper cooking for me and all that. I ask them, who's the one eating? It's you are the one eating. Even if you are the one cooking, do you know what temperature your food, how your stir fry is done?
So while you were asking and we were answering, we put some vanilla, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract,
Salt.
and then salt, and then we just mixed it for how many seconds? 3 seconds?
Just 3 seconds. And then, our granola is now ready for baking.
Can you eat it as is and put it in
Pwede,
the yogurt?
yes.
Pwede. Oh, by the way, you can also make your own yogurt. Very easy to do. I learned from Jenny. Only 6 minutes, and then you just let it ferment for 11 to 12 hours. Put it in the ref. You have your own yogurt. It's yummy pa.
And if your family are not used to eating yogurt, you can also make strawberry jam in Thermomix, and then with the yogurt, just mix in some of the 1 teaspoon of the strawberry jam, and it will give it some sweetness, and all this. It will be easier to get used to eating.
So we will now bake it for 20 to 22 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, and then we will allow it to
Okay.
cool completely before transferring it to a container.
Okay. So, good news. We won't have to wait for
Yay!
20 minutes kasi there's a pre-made.
Magic.
Wait lang. Okay?
Konti daw.
Hindi.
One
One
tablespoon or teaspoon per person.
We have more.
We have more.
Okay. So, before we proceed with the granola, let's continue with our chicken. Okay.
No yogurt?
No.
Secret.
Get your family mix and later.
Okay, let's check.
So look at that spatula. The spatula has a hook because it will hook out the simmering basket also.
So, halfway through the cooking, ito na yung rice natin. So, let's mix it. And we'll cook it for another 15 more minutes.
What rice? What kind of rice did we use here?
I think this is jasmine.
Regular? Jasmine? Jasmine
Can
rice.
we use brown rice, black rice?
Yes,
Is that-
but yeah, you'll have to adjust, I think, the water and the cooking time.
Longer for brown rice.
So make sure to bring the ones at the bottom up para even cooking. Okay.
Just search cookie dough. There's recipes for brown rice.
So we'll put it back. And our chicken, we'll put our chicken back. So we'll cook it for another 15 minutes. Okay. So we're now ready for our
Granola?
yes, sobo. Okay,
Wow, there's more pala.
the yogurt. I made the plain yogurt yesterday using one of the recipes in cookie dough.
May yogurt pala.
Oo nga, surprise
One
mo.
teaspoon.
1 teaspoon of yogurt. So, konti.
Ayan. So we will let you taste our granola.
So, this is for breakfast and merienda.
Granola. I love this.
Kuya, may kutsara. May kutsara.
Yeah.
Ilan? Isang spoon lang.
Mm.
Wow. So how did you make the yogurt then? What ingredients?
Oh my gosh.
Milk.
Here. Wait.
It's milk. Then, the starter.
So you need 1 liter of milk and a small cup of yogurt, yung 120 gram, and then powdered milk. That is optional. So you just need to buy the small cup of yogurt, and you end up with over a liter of yogurt after you ferment. Then you set aside about 150 grams of it to make the next batch. Yeah, so it's very, yes, that's your starter. So you can keep on going until you feel
4, 8,
there's not
3,
enough
6, 9, 12.
power anymore, then you buy a new
And but in the long run, it's healthy, it's time saving, it's money saving, and it's healthier for your family. This granola is my daughter's favorite. She loves chocolate. So I will add mga chocolate rolls back for her for breakfast.
Don't have both. Kulang pa?
Get more rolls.
Enough, then 1 table share.
Yeah. How's it?
Good
How was
morning.
it?
How's breakfast?
Good? Yeah. What's good?
In the cabinet now, throw in the whole.
What's good with this yogurt? Tingnan niya walang sugar added in our recipe. Ilan ba? Unlike when you buy, you check the ingredient. Minsan may sugar yan.
When you make your yogurt, you can mix, use the thermal server to let it
More syrup. Late,
gradually,
yung kanina,
warm to
before
ferment,
baking,
right? So you get
ilagay mo sa mold. And then, pwede i-freeze mo na lang or i-ref mo na. It will set. Some they bake, some they don't. There's a question here. If you want granola bars now, what do you do? So, maybe 20 Chef minutes. can repeat yung answer. Okay, someone asked what if they want to make granola bars? So before, if you remember yung texture before putting it sa oven, from there, you can use mold. Doon nyo ilagay, and then i-ref. Some, they bake it, some they don't have. Sarap ba? Di ba ang mahal-mahal when you buy the granola bar?
Unless you are selling or
Ilan pa?
bringing it out for, I would just suggest just keep it like this, keep it in an airtight jar, keep it in the ref. Make your food preparation cooking as simple as fast-free as possible. Then you will continue to make it. Otherwise, it's too much work. It's only one time. It doesn't last. Yeah.
Add. Water. So, some of you may find the texture a bit on the crunchy side. You can add more yogurt, blended fruit. Yes. How long daw will it stay fresh? How long will it last daw? Which one? The yogurt? The granola? Granola can stay up to 6 months. That's right. Yes po. Put it in an airtight container. Yes. Yogurt. Actually, first time ko po. Si Jenny. Yogurt, how long does it last daw?
How long does it
It doesn't last in my, 3 days, I finish.
Don't make big batches. Change your habit to cook. Just
And aside from eating like this, you can always add it to your fruit to make a drink. Like, or the yogurt can also be added to your chicken to marinate. Let's say you want to make butter chicken, it needs yogurt also.
mango lassi is
Yeah,
just
mango
a
lassi.
recipe. What's that recipe?
They're just yogurt and fresh mango and a little bit of milk. You blend it, it's like a smoothie. So you get your protein from the yogurt. Is it good? Yeah, very good. The granola, is it good? So this, there's a lot of recipe for granola. If you like dried fruits, you can add cranberry, you can add, I put OG berries in mine. After baking, I will just add, because you don't make the goji berry, you just put it after. You can add like dried apricots, raisin, if you like raisin, it can be anything. Yeah.
So,
Some food, if you cook it like tomato, you get more nutrients from it. But most food, if you cook it, the higher temperature, the longer you cook it, the more nutrients goes away. That's why you want the temperature to be controlled. Anyone needs water? Water here.
So for variety, if you remember our mango sorbet, you can use it as base and just add the granola on top.
For the yogurt recipe, you can search natural and then a plain yogurt for in the cookie dough. Natural plain yogurt.
Full
It's up
milk?
to you.
Full milk, yeah.
Here it
Any
says
brand, yeah.
full cream milk. So you only need one liter of full cream milk and then yogurt na 120 grams for the starter, and then milk powder is optional, 50 grams. Yan lang. And if you have your thermal server, yeah, by the way, where's your thermal server here? Yeah. For our thermal server, this is our special thermal server now. First time to be served.
Before,
This is, ano lang yan, ngayon pa lang siya nag-debut. Ha? This is the oval thermal server. First time here. So we still don't have that. Kami wala pa. But we have the regular 2.2 liters thermal server and the 1 liter. You can use that for your yogurt. It's very good.
the 1 liter is the 1 liter is very suitable for like rice or shrimp ulam.
Gambas.
2.2
2.2 liters.
2.2 liters. What do you use it for?
Oh, a lot.
Taho?
Our rice is, yeah, I use it also for taho. Yeah.
Yeah, actually any sabaw.
Yeah, sabaw.
Because 2.2 liter is exactly the same size as the bowl here, right? So whatever you can cook here, it all fits into that size.
The thermal server, you can keep the food hot or cold, but depending on what you put, for 2 to 3 hours. So it's very good. So if you want to cook earlier and you want to leave na, so at least your family can eat still warm food.
So Jane, what can you think of this size is good for?
That's fish, of course. The steamed Thai lime fish. Yeah.
So this is 2.5 liters.
2.5. The thermal server, yes, I put my yogurt derecho with the cover, not without the server. Oh, by the way, this is a thermal server, so you don't cook, because we have some advisors, their helper didn't know painit, so they init in the no, don't not for reheating. Yeah,
Not for that.
just to serve. Huh? Food warmer. This is like the food warmer. Freezer, I haven't tried, but ref better.
Ref? Yes.
Yes, but freezer, no.
Why would you put it in the freezer?
What will you put in the freezer? Huh?
When you're preserved in the freezer,
I know,
What
but,
will you preserve?
If you put this in the freezer for long term, then you cannot use it regularly, right? How many
It's just a server, so don't put it in the
Yeah.
freezer. Just the ref. Kasi you don't reheat it there. Yeah, you cannot reheat the thermal server. You have to transfer. Yeah.
If you're cooking regularly, you should be needing to use this almost
Yeah.
every meal, right?
Yeah.
So, if
So-
you put it in the freezer, you cannot use it.
Saka kulang if you only have one thermal server, because siyempre you have rice, sabaw, your ulam, your, diba? Dami, diba? So, if you can have more, better. So, where's our, okay, so for us, for those that have not joined this channel, please scan so that you can be added to this channel, because here we share our cooking class schedules also, and then if we have new updates, like we just shared also that our new update is we have this oval thermal server that came And then we can also send our new promotions, and we keep our users community in the loop. Now that's why it's very good to join the buy Thermomix from the Philippines, because you can also buy it abroad. But the support is very important, the community, because you get to share recipes, you can ask questions, and we can help you maximize your unit. That's why we have these workshops like this, so that you can learn more. Diba? Did you know before that you can do granola? Hindi, diba? But now you saw it, you can do it. Okay, so you scanned already, everyone joined? Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so we're done with that, the fruity aloe. You scan so that you can join, yeah. Sorry. You scan again. You can. This is Viber. So if you have Viber, you can join. This is Viber kasi. You scan and then join. You press join. Yung camera. Yung camera. Sige ba? Or go to Viber. Divider.
So do you have any questions po regarding the recipe so far? How was the food? Will you do it at home?
I must go. I'll join late. I'll do it. Di ba join? I must scan yung phone. I must scan. Ayaw must scan. Ano pa yung next?
May slides.
Okay. So, as you know, we have 100,000 recipes that you can search. Okay. So, in your phone, if you type, for example, you type something. Okay. Here is how to search for your recipes. First, you click if you have already the Cookidoo app, you download the app on your app store. Okay, like Cookidoo. So when it's there na, you see that parang magnifying glass. Yeah, that's a search button. You press on that, and then type the keywords to search for recipes. For example, here, garlic
cheese
bread. If you type garlic cheese bread there, so the recipe will come out sa baba.
It's very interesting. Just now I saw Professor show a slide that shows from what was it? The research.
Those are the steps. No, we
Yeah.
try to include that.
It's very there's a similarity here because Cookidoo is about 4 things: search for recipes, and then you plan when to cook inside Cookidoo, which day you want to cook, and then what was that?
Buy.
You search, then you shop. You shop
You
for
shop,
the groceries,
yeah.
then you
You
plan
plan
when you want
your
to cook,
meal.
and then you cook. It cooks because you guides you to cook,
Thank you.
right? So those are steps embedded inside.
So whatever you type on number 2, whatever now you type bread, all the bread recipes will come out. You can also search by ingredients. For example, you only have tomatoes and mushrooms in your ref. So you type tomatoes and mushroom, all the recipes that have tomatoes and mushrooms will come out. Okay? So you can also do this. You tap on the drop down to choose from the collection. See, if you tap that, you'll see recipes and collections. You can also tap collections. Collections are like parang cookbook. So for example, collection, layered cooking collections, or baby food collection, or food for diabetics, or gluten-free, plant-based, whatever. So these are parang books or collections. So different recipes, kunwari 6 to 7 recipes in one book, parang is one collection. So you can choose that. Okay, and okay, you can also plan your meals. So whatever you choose na recipes, you can press that one, add to my week. So when do you want it? Do you want it cooked today? Do you want it cooked tomorrow? You can choose the date. If you put it there, it will come next time when you open it and you go to my week, all the recipes that you chose will come out on that day that you chose it. Okay, so, and then you can tap on the recipe, and then, so you can also add it to shopping list. So, whatever recipe you chose, siyempre, not some of the ingredients you might not have, diba? So you go to shopping list, it will list all the ingredients. And for example, you chose 3 recipes, so it will add all the ingredients, those that are the same, it will add it together. So when you go to the grocery, you can first check the ingredients. Those that you already have, you can pick it. It will go to the items you already have. Yung matitira are the items you still need to buy. So you don't buy more than what you need, and you buy that what you have, whatever you need. Because sometimes, di ba, you're cooking, ay, kulang vanilla extract, whatever. Hihiram ka pa sa kapitbahay mo. But this one, at least you have the right, Okay, you can also use filter for your recipes. Kanina, kay Ate Mary, I was showing you that there are 5 filters that you maybe didn't know that you put. So, for example, you can filter. For example, I want to filter out lahat ng peanuts kasi somebody is allergic to peanuts. So, all the recipes that will come out, walang peanuts. So, you can filter. Or you want to filter only English recipes. So, only English recipes will come out. But don't do that because you will niliit yung you will limit your recipes. What you do if there's a foreign recipe, kasi there's 20 languages so you can also go to Chrome and you can translate those recipes. Kahit na it's in a foreign language, you can still cook. Okay, so you can do that. Okay, so you can okay, that one I showed you already kanina. You can, whatever recipe you put, you can go to the shopping cart there. You press it in the shopping cart. It will list all the ingredients together. So, and then sa taas, you can tap the 3 dots so that you can share that recipe. For example, your yaya, your driver who's going to buy, or your husband who's going to buy the ingredients can buy it because you can share it via Instagram, Messenger, wherever you wanna, Telegram, you want to share. Then
They don't need to have cookie dough installed on their phone, right? When you share using the last screen, it will come out as text.
yeah, that's like a message. Yeah, so you can share it to your driver. Yeah. Okay. So, the exciting part.
Pause lang.
Yes, tasting.
Okay, so this is what happened to our chicken after about 30 minutes of steaming. Yeah.
Wow, looks good. So we have 2 layers.
So it was cooked in 2 layers. For the rice, ito.
You can hook out the simmering basket using the spatula. Di ba nasa loob, mainit? How do you hook that out? So that spatula, yan, you can hook out. So that's the design of Germans. Very good in design, no? Para hindi ka mapasok. That spatula has a lot of use also. There's even a stopper so that sometimes when you want to mix, you don't use your regular spatula because kakainin ng blade because there's a blade sa baba, di ba? But there's a stopper.
So if you remember, kanina, di ba, we added the flour? The roux. So this right here, you can use it as sauce.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. So I will just plate one for photo, and then we will let you taste.
And here now you can learn to plate like chef.
Pressure tuloy ako.
Nanginig tuloy si Chef.
Okay.
Kutsara.
Nasilaw ako sa ano. Yeah. Better. Wait, yung rosemary kanina nasa. Sinalik mo. Ito yung bagong luto. Kulang? Ganda ng gamit na. The stuff you are drunk with. Ilan pa? Nilagyan ba natin? Ha? Ah, here. Here pala. Sorry. Yeah, lupa. Iwan mo lang din. Saan tayo papunta? Bakit? Di po. Sabi ko. Ito. Game? Kuya, muna isa pang price. Kuya, cleaning price. Yung guys. Ano ba na? Gusto magsalita. Ha? Di ba maganda? Ha? No! The room. Sauce. Yes. Liit naman ito. Okay. Yes. Wala pang vlog. Wala pang sauce. Meron na yun. Meron na. Yung isa... Meron ba? Wala. Yan na nga. Bigat. Isip. Sige. Kulang pa? Yes. Dami pala. How many more? I'll add more. Maliit to. Granola ko.
And
Yours. Dali, sige.
How's it? Sarap?
Hirap ng ganola. Nabalik mo yun. Hindi ko naman ito. Hindi ko. Hindi ko ba? Yung lahat yung hindi ko pala dyan.
Rice?
You can try. Can you try? Yeah, that's why po, it's very important to, yes, bakit mo? Native arts. Tipik mo ko. Teka, lagyan ko na. Para mas maganda. Ika. Ang batch. Ang batch 81. Ika. Pure. Ang batch 88. Ika din? Ika ka din? Kanya lang. Batch 81 naman. Who invited you? Inip lang. So hot. No, was... Kapag guess who? 19? Yeah. I just know yesterday. Ha? Sili? Tinanggal ko na. Tinanggal ko na. Kasi bisa po mabalik yun. Baka na-press mo na. Or, pwede ko piti. Mamaya. Tiga. Actually, medyo glycemic din siya kasi nasa baba yung sauce, di ba? When you say glycemic, it cooks the rice at the same time washes away the starch. Medyo glycemic.
How was your
Yung
rice?
sauce nasa baba.
Is it cooked? The rice? Cooked all the way?
Ito ulit
Okay.
i-filter. Wait.
How was it po? It's actually, kaya nga po, separated naman. It's just some idea. If you don't like want to add sauce, pwede naman. It's for added flavor. Update. Yeah, if you like maasim, even the rind. You want more water po? Water po?
Meron na naman filter. Ito lang yung filter. Tapos titignan ko lang sa baba. Ano yung mga naka-filter.
Thank you, everyone.
Walang makakasama filter.